Hey all, Bryan VantHof here with Remax Advantage Plus, Ramsey Trusted, and the Minnesota real estate team. Hope you're having a great week so far. Today is Thursday, June 19th, and probably one of the nicest days of the summer that we've had so far. No rain, sun's out, great day. I hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy some of this Minnesota summer here this weekend. A lot of different things going on around the area. If you like music, there's Windstock in Winstead, Minnesota, country music, Jazz Fest in the Twin Cities. Things to do if you're looking to go to a rodeo. There's a rodeo out in Buffalo here this weekend. That is the oldest rodeo, annually. It's been going on the longest. It's the longest running rodeo in the state of Minnesota. So if you are into that, there is that opportunity for you as well. If you're into food, Hopkins has a food truck festival going on this weekend. So a lot of different things going on with our summer weekends here in the Twin Cities area. So if you're not looking at houses with me, make sure you're getting out to do a little enjoyment of what we have with it's going to be hot this weekend, so definitely want to get out and just kind of enjoy what we have, because we don't get too many hot weekends like this. But anyway, let's talk about the week that was in real estate. First of all, as always, this is on previously owned homes within a 50-mile radius of downtown Minneapolis in Minnesota. We saw 1,205 new listings hit the market over the past 7 days. That's down 49 from last week, but 37 more than what we saw this same week last year. 266 of those did sell in the first week so far. That equates to 22%. That pace is slightly slower than where we were last week. Actually, last year, when we look at last year, the 22% is higher than last week, where it was 20%, but it's lower than last year when 24% of all new listings sold in the first week. So still a very, very, very solid sales pace, just not as busy as where we were, as quick. I shouldn't say as busy, as quick as where we were last year. So of our new listings, 885 were single family homes. That's down 45. 240 were townhomes. That's down 7. And 110 were condos. That's up 3. There are 389 coming soon listings out there, which is a good number. It is actually up 13 from last week. Total available inventory sits at 5,537. That's up 107 from last week and 929 more than where we were last year. Just kind of looking back at some of these weekly videos that I do, and the weekly inventories compared to where they were at that same week last year, we've pretty well been consistent at 20 to 25% higher this year in inventory than where we were the same week last year. So what does that mean to me? That just means that we are adding inventory to the market, but it's not at a crazy pace. We're not exponentially raising our inventory out there from week to week, where it goes from 20% increase over the previous year to 25% increase over the previous year to 50% increase over the previous year. It's just about 20% is where we've seen our increases on a weekly basis from the comparable week to the year before. So really nothing terribly messy or screwy with our current market out there right now. We aren't stacking up inventory. We are at the highest inventory levels in this area, in the Twin Cities area, that we've seen in the past 3 years, but not really an overwhelming amount. It's not a buyer's market, except for when you're looking at the condo market right now. Going back to the inventory numbers, of our total inventory, 3,424 are single family homes. That's 68 more than where we were last week. At a median listing price of $520,000, that's down $5,000 compared to where we were last week. Townhomes made up 1,039 of our inventory. That's up 39. At a median price of $310,000, that number is unchanged. Condos make up 1,074 of our available inventory. That's up 1. Median listing price of $200,000. That's actually down $10,000. I think you're starting to see some pressure on the condo prices, maybe coming down just a little bit more. Of the outstanding inventory available, median days on market is sitting at 68. When you look at townhomes, they're at 28, and single family homes are at 29. So certainly seeing condos kind of sit out there for more than twice as long as townhomes and single family homes. 890 homes went from active to pending. That's up 63. 893 homes went from pending to sold. That's up 133 from last week. Mortgage rates continue to pretty much not do anything. A good broker is still going to be right around that 6.75% neighborhood, plus or minus a little bit. We're about 1/8 lower than where we were a month ago, about 1/8 higher than 3 months ago, a little over 1/8 lower than 6 months ago, and about 1/8 higher than 1 year ago. So wow, we're trending up and down about 1/8 here and there, not a wide range. So it just we have been very, very consistent with very limited volatility when it comes to mortgage rates here, really over the past year. We did have a blip in September of last year when rates really did take a pretty good dive to be about 0.75% lower than where we are today, but that was fairly short-lived. So again, not a lot of volatility when it comes to mortgages. On the showing request side of things, showing requests dropped in the Twin Cities metro area by about 1,300 showings this past week from where we were the previous week to 14,900 realtor requested showings. That equates to 3.37 showings per listing. There were about 400 more showings last year at this time than what we had this year, and that equated to 3.73 showings per home. So we are in summer vacation season where a lot of people do go on vacation, and sometimes those are the people who just take a week off from looking at homes potentially. So we are quickly approaching here the 4th of July. It's just 2 weeks from tomorrow. We are really kind of in our home stretch for the prime selling time of the year. Showing activity does kind of tend to slow down a few weeks after the 4th of July. If you're a seller, that's not great for you. If you're a buyer, that's good for you. But that's kind of where things are at. We are definitely, as we head into the second half of 2025 here within the next couple of weeks, it is kind of on the downslope when it comes to activity going on, really kind of within that 2 to 3 week period after the 4th of July. So if you are a seller, it is absolutely time to get on your horse and get some things to put together and schedule a meeting with me to go through the things that you need to go through to make selling your home a success. So that's it on the stats side of things for the week. For the inventory stats, I've said numerous times on this email, on this video, that the Twin Cities real estate market is, if you look at the Twin Cities and the rest of the nation overall, we are pretty much an average market. We are not high in price. We are not low in price. We are about right in the middle when it comes to every really relevant metric that is out there from an affordability standpoint, from a price standpoint, from a inventory standpoint. We're pretty much average. We're average Joes here in Minnesota, right? So if you look at the nation, but if we look at the nation overall, if we kind of section it off, Midwest, Northeast, West, South, and I think this is very applicable to where we are in the Twin Cities area. The Midwest, inventory in the Midwest is up 23% from where we were at this time last year. And I just talked about, we are up about 20 to 25% in the Twin Cities on our inventory year over year from last year. So kind of when you look at that, we are a great representation of what it means to be Midwestern when it comes to the real estate market. So that's where we sit. The Northeast market is up 19% in inventory for the year. It gets worse. The South is up 33%, and the West is up 41% from where we were last year. So those are, when you hear people concerned about what's going on in the real estate market, they're really kind of maybe talking about the South and the West because their inventory numbers are so much higher. Interestingly, the Midwest, we are still 41% below our inventory from pre-pandemic, from 2019. We have 41% less inventory now than we had pre-pandemic. The Northeast, they're 52% below where they were pre-pandemic. But the South is actually 4% higher in inventory, and the West has 11% more inventory than they did pre-pandemic. So those are also areas of maybe some concern that are seeing maybe a little bit of stress. But again, I go back to the Midwest. If you're looking to buy something and you don't want risk, you just want to be steady Eddie, the buying in the Twin Cities market is fantastic. If you look historically over the past 10 years, looking at some stats as provided by the Federal Reserve, we have had a whole lot less volatility in our real estate market than the West and the Northeast has from a price standpoint. And that certainly helps homeowners here, where they can just kind of see kind of a steady rise or just a steady real estate market. Nothing too volatile, not huge valleys, not huge peaks, just kind of a steady flow. And that's what our real estate market here in the Twin Cities has kind of done over the past 10 years. And even going back to the crash in 2008, we certainly didn't get hit nearly as hard as other areas of the country. So if you're looking to buy a house, this is a great time to be a buyer. If you're looking to sell, it's a great time to be a seller. If you're looking to buying in the Midwest, buying in the Twin Cities seems to be a great real estate play. So something for you to maybe consider. That's about all I have for the week. Whether you're buying or selling, we're in the home stretch here of the summer market. So if you are a buyer, it is time to really and you haven't already had a conversation with me, it is time to get prepared to buy a home as we head into the second half of 2025 here very quickly, because there's going to be some great buying opportunities out there that I believe, as inventories accumulate, as sellers maybe get a little bit more, I won't say desperate, but a little bit more flexible, maybe is a better way to say it. It's you as a buyer, you really need to be prepared now to make some great buying opportunities here as in the second half of 2026. If you're a seller, as I said at the beginning of this, it is time to get on your horse. It is time to make a plan. It is time to meet with me and put together a plan that makes sense for you to get you the most money for your property. If you're a seller, this is the time. This is when you need to be putting that home on the market, getting photos done, cleaning the place up, getting the yard prepared. And this is going to help you sell your house at a much faster clip and for more money than other times of the year when there's snow on the ground or there's leaves falling off the trees, or it just doesn't feel quite as good. So if you're a seller, let's talk very, very soon here. If you're a buyer, let's also talk very soon to put a plan in place for you. Please reach out anytime. I want to see you succeed at real estate. I want to provide any information and resources that I can to make it as smooth a transition, as smooth a purchase as possible. Moving is no fun. I've helped dozens of clients this year already. I know it's hard. I know it can be stressful, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. So hope you have a great weekend. Reach out anytime. Talk to you soon.